So this is just a bunch of like
Gibberish?
reels.
Yes.
Just gibberish. It's just a bunch of gibberish. We can continue that. Motherfucker, that's because you forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody want to talk.
Oh god. Sean Rappin.
Did you see that Jimmy Kimmel thing with Kanye?
Oh yes, the child.
Yeah.
You showed us that.
Yo, there's been
I
huge
showed
backlash.
you guys. I didn't show him.
Yeah, but a lot of people talking about how that was in poor taste.
No, it wasn't. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, but Kimmel's completely removed from. He's like, what? Kanye thinks he's a rock star, and then people are like, yeah, because rap is actually become the rock of today. Like,
no,
it
but
actually makes sense.
it's just because
Kanye isn't an
Kanye's
idiot.
a fucking crazy person.
No, he's because he's in the media and people need to be reminded that he exists. So he's a radical.
No, but just
as an artist, he's amazing.
Yeah, and
he's groundbreaking. I've never heard.
But that's what Kimmel was making fun of. The way he speaks normally.
That's Kanye.
He's an idiot. The way he speaks normally, and he was just showing. This is how a kid would read it. Like the kids, when they were talking to each other,
it made perfect sense.
Yeah, it looked like it was normal. It looked like that's how two kids would have a
Did you actually
conversation
see the skit? No,
I should see it.
It's really funny.
It's like how a kid will normally talk to somebody.
But like, at the same time, I have respect for Kanye as a musician, as a person. I
Not as a human being.
Have no.
But you should.
I guess.
You should get the tweets that Kanye was sending to Kimmel. They were hilarious.
They were so bad.
John Kimmel?
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's like
John Kimmel.
Yeah, Jimmy. Like Kanye was tweeting Jimmy Kimmel.
He said Kimball. I
Jimmy Kimmel.
John
Anyways, he was like, "Put yourself in my shoes." Oh, wait a minute, you haven't had enough good pussy in your life.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's start off. I'm Adam like usual. We got Sean, Matt, and Brandon. So there's a new Thief trailer. We watched a little bit before. It really, like, it reminds me of the old Thief games, but it just, like, hammers in, like, Dishonored. But then again, Dishonored was pretty much Thief.
Two things that I noticed in it, which I was kind of off-put with. I agree. It feels good. They really know how to make a trailer be, like, emotional. When you're watching it, you want to go out and buy it. But there was too much explosions in it. It seemed like it was almost like this Hollywood movie, and it somewhat goes against what Thief was. And my second complaint is that there's no hippographs in it.
Hippographs?
Don't even know what that is. Do not even know what that is.
I did feel like crying because of the explosions in the sky.
Yeah.
So.
No, but seriously, it actually...
In all seriousness.
It completely goes against... It goes against... Like, I agree. It feels... But then now, in the wake of Dishonored, which, now that you're looking at it, almost blatantly ripped off Thief.
Pretty much.
Now Thief looks like it's blatantly
ripping off Dishonored.
But
yeah, but I mean, like, Thief is so far removed
that's
now.
because Dishonored, like, played it really smart.
Yeah.
Like, everyone forgot about Thief.
Yeah.
Well, it's been like a decade since a game has come out. Like, the last one that came out was on Xbox, and like...
It almost feels like, oh, Dishonored is here, we should try something, kind of deal. Obviously, that's not the case because of the time span. It's only been about a year. But still.
Yeah. And when I say Xbox, I mean original Xbox.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, Dishonored. I mean, Dishonored.
Yeah, Dishonored is like...
To this trailer itself.
Yeah, it's been like 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, the way they made Dishonored, I feel like it was... Because you had the choice, right? You could go full stealth or just kill everybody.
Yes.
I think that was the difference. It's not just stealing things.
See, that's the thing.
It's
but when you're looking at the trailer, it looks exactly like Dishonored, just your objective is different. Because when you're going through...
Like it. The art looks the same. That's what it is. Visually, it's almost the same.
Well, not the character models, though. The environments, yes, I'll agree with you, but the character models like were really stylized in Dishonored.
Yeah, and they're like hyper-real in this. It looks almost
exactly.
Like Uncanny Valley.
But what I was saying is when you're watching the trailer, it looks like Dishonored, but like... You know, in Thief, you're stealing stuff, right? And in Dishonored, you're assassinating people. But going through the actual building, it looked exactly like Dishonored. It's just a completely different, like, objective, basically.
But he still had the equipment set of the Thief, so
yeah,
that's what it is.
Taking out lights with water arrows.
The water arrows, man. I want one of those.
Crazy technology.
Man, I want one.
It's like water balloons, pretty much. Yeah, they're like water.
Technically, like the way they showed it, it was weird. It was just like the arrowhead was made out of water. Or something.
That's basically what it is. That is what it is. But in real life, I guess the only way you'd ever be able to do that is with like water balloons.
I suppose, but it wouldn't break up like.
Well, it depends how you made it, because if the water balloon, if you had it so that when it impacts something and then it popped the water balloon and then the water came out. You have to make it so that only a certain amount of force, like an airbag. You know how airbags, the way they work is you have like this. It's like this tube
Yeah.
with a little ball in it, and when there's enough force for the little ball to exit the tube, that's when the airbag pops. Okay, so you have to make you have to make the water balloon
You have a giant thing on the end of your arrow, essentially.
strong enough so that it wouldn't just pop from normal movement, but as soon as it like hit a wall and there was enough force to actually pierce the balloon, that's when the water would come out. That's the only way I could see it ever possibly being actually possible, but you know.
Fantastic.
I like that water arrow. It made sense.
It sucked though in the original Thief games when you basically got to the end of the level and the only weapon you had left was water arrows. You couldn't do anything.
Could you hit people with it?
Yeah, but it doesn't do
Doesn't do
anything.
anything.
They just kind of
It alerts them.
like if they have like a torch with them, then you have to shoot them with it and like puts out the torch. But then they go crazy and they're like, "What was that?" Like they don't know.
I guess it's a good way to testing to see if or not they're witches from the Wizard of
That's
Oz.
Yes, of course.
They start melting.
Well, they start screaming and then they start melting.
So Beyond Two Souls came out this week. Anyone planning on buying it?
Nope.
Nope.
I was hoping someone else would. The
Ellen
reviews seem
Page.
very, very polarizing.
Yeah. And
Have you read anything
I
on
haven't
it?
read anything at all.
See, a lot of people are, which I somewhat agree with. A lot of people feel that it's not really a game. It's only a game in the very loosest of senses because it gives you control over the most benign of actions. Like you can reach for something on the table and you push up on the D-pad or something like that. And like it really has you controlling the very basic actions, the controls in the actual action sequences, because now it's more of an action-heavy game, are not that enjoyable from what I've read.
Yeah, apparently.
But people who are more sophisticated in their reasoning, I should say, have pointed to the fact that Heavy Rain was almost a mistake success because it worked. The sort of very basic mechanics worked within the confines of like a murder mystery kind of thing. Because you didn't mind doing those things because you were always thinking about the narrative. It was always driving you forward. Whereas in Beyond Two Souls, Ellen Page is jumping between 3 or 4 different periods of her life. And it feels very inconsequential. You're trying to piece together why she has certain powers, and apparently it's incredibly dissatisfying.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mess more than it's a success. Which
It's
is
kind of
unfortunate.
disappointing.
Yeah.
But it's Ellen Page.
Yes. And Willem Dafoe, he's a pretty good actor
Yes.
in nothing that I've ever seen. But I'm sure he is a good actor.
I
That's something.
assume that he's good.
I assume. Because I know his name.
Juno.
Everyone knows his name.
Did she get pregnant?
He does.
Does she?
No.
Oh.
She might. I don't
Is there
know.
a sex scene? Does she get naked?
Probably not.
Probably. No, there's a shower scene.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know how naked she is in it, though.
probably not.
Probably naked because she's in the shower, but how much did they
no,
show?
you can be a never nude.
She can be a never nude, yeah.
What?
It's a reference to Arrested Development,
Oh.
which both of you were in because you've never watched that show.
Wow.
No.
Never seen
watched
a
it.
single.
I've
I-
seen episodes here and there, but I haven't seen the entire series.
Exactly.
I've suddenly lost respect
For the
For
human
us.
race.
for us.
For us as a people.
Yes.
There's also a new trailer for the Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea DLC, which
Mhm.
had episode 1 at it, so I'm assuming there's going to be 2 or 3
Star Wars, yeah.
episodes in the series for it
Mhm.
as DLC. It basically just showed like the first 5 minutes of like when you start the DLC. Was pretty cool. It brings you back to Rapture and stuff like that. And it brought you back to Rapture the way you entered Columbia, so no one is dead and no one is crazy. So it should be pretty interesting.
It's before the catastrophe,
Exactly.
but only a few days. It's not
A
that much.
catastrophe where you...
That's what
The
they call it.
Judeo-Christian
No,
follower.
It is though. It's a very religious game,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. There's
very.
religious undertones to it.
but it's like a few days or something like that. It's like
Yeah,
not very.
It's not very far.
I think that's why they showed the date.
Yeah, you're right, because in the original Bioshock, all of the last recordings were of New Year's Eve.
Was it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because they showed it.
what
It was
the
like
date?
December something.
December 31st,
Was it?
1959.
So then it was the day of
Yeah.
the catastrophe.
So they probably are the ones to cause the catastrophe.
Probably.
Maybe.
Ugh, retconning.
So what's
Has Metal Gear Solid taught no one anything about retconning?
is Fontaine going to be in it?
Well, they had
They
his
have to.
the orphanage Fontaine's orphanage was
Okay.
closed down or whatever. So his name's around there. I don't know if he'll actually be in the game, but
Same
probably.
voice actor, hopefully.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
So then, technically, does this eliminate the fact and all the other people's possibilities that him and Booker DeWitt are the same person?
Well, it's quite possible that this is just another variation. It might not even be the exact same Rapture.
It's
Remember,
not.
there's thousands
Yeah.
of them.
But I'm-
Spoilers. You should say spoilers.
No,
Oh, well.
the games have been out long enough.
The game's been out for like.
no, but that was people.
I hate that as an argument.
It has been though. It's
Yeah,
something.
If you
Okay,
never got spoiled,
stupid,
if you
though.
never got it spoiled for you, and you haven't played it from now, you're probably never going to play
Yeah,
Bioshock
but it's been
Infinite.
less than a year.
So
I mean,
What do you mean
for example,
so?
Breaking Bad. We're talking about Breaking
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, but that happened a week ago.
No,
So
it's not
don't
even
spoil
that.
anything.
Like it's there's like every episode there's like some shit going down, right?
Yeah.
So like the fact is like that hasn't been spoiled.
It's been a week.
Don't spoil it.
To give you some sort of an example,
Mhm.
one of my top 5 RPGs of all time is a series called Digital Devil Saga. And if someone were to ruin the transition from the first Digital Devil Saga into the second one, I would strangle them.
You
Even though
haven't
it's been
even
out
beat the first one.
Sorry?
Haven't you not beaten
No.
the first one?
I got like 80% through it. It's besides the point. I ended up being blown away with the... No, wait, did I beat it? No, maybe I didn't beat it.
You didn't beat
Anyways,
Nocturne.
Nocturne, yeah.
Which one's that?
Nocturne is
Standalone thing?
it is part of the canon series. Canon, I mean they're different. But these are just spin-offs.
Okay.
Anyways.
So if I were to tell you in Sixth Sense, he's actually dead. Spoiler alert.
Well, you would just forewarn me. I mean, these people have no control over it.
Fine. Anyways, do you remember playing Tiny Towers? Anyone ever play Tiny Towers? Get a little addicted to that on your cell phone?
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be Tiny Death Star.
Oh, Tiny Towers. Okay.
I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
that sounds crazy. It's like these little hyperpixelated guys who
Yeah,
are in
and you have like a little
dimension
tower,
like
and you
that.
put like apartment buildings and shops,
I'm
and then the
bored.
people get jobs in the shops.
Really quick.
It's a casual game or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
play it for a little while and then you stop.
Sounds like I'd rather play Top Shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It's
how I
almost
feel.
It's
similar to
almost
Top
like Top Shop, just you play by yourself.
Actually, it's kind of similar to Top Shop in that there's an internal economy where your residents are the only people who are buying stuff from each other.
yeah, pretty
So
It's
how
much.
does
very-
that work?
Well, you have some people who work at shops, and you have other people who buy shit
Okay.
at
So
shops.
basically, it's just a cycle of
Yeah.
nothingness.
Yeah.
Anyways,
exactly.
Tiny Death Star, they're same people, and it's just Disney Star Wars themed Death Star.
It's like
Is it going to
Angry
cost
Birds.
money or
It's probably gonna be free, like Tiny Towers
no? I'll
was.
play that.
Wait, then I might have actually played that then. But I think I cheated.
Was there like another Tiny Towers, which was like an airplane?
Yeah, it was made by the same people. I can't remember what it was called though. I remember Andy getting addicted to it.
I have it on my
Figure.
phone, so I'm going to
Tiny
check
Towers.
right now.
Because I think what you could do is that you could change the time on your phone and it would increase.
Exactly.
And
It's
that's
called
what
it
everybody
all the
was
time.
doing.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
would keep the money even
Huh.
if you went back.
That's cool.
The other game by them is called Pocket Planes.
That's it.
There you go.
But you need to be connected to the internet, I think, to play it,
Both of them, yes, I think.
which is annoying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the PS4 controller is actually going to function with Windows without a driver.
Nice.
Really?
So it's going to be, but it's like they said, basic functionality. So they said the buttons and the analog stick, all of that would work by just plugging it in. Presumably, you would need drivers for like the touch screen or the light or whatever, stuff like that, the extra features. But as far as buttons and analog and everything like that, apparently straight out of the box, you plug it in, it works.
You think
That's
the Rumble's going to work?
What?
You think the Rumble is going to work?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I mean, like,
Because it's using a basic input. It's called X input, I believe. And it's-
yeah, but I think that you need a driver for that now.
no.
Okay, anyways.
They also said, so in Assassin's Creed 4, there are still, of course, like present day
Pirates?
scenes.
They're still pirates?
Yes, there's still present day scenes. Like we have to come out of the Animus or whatever. Apparently, it's set in Montreal now, reportedly. I'm not
The
100%
Animus
sure.
is in Montreal.
No, the game takes place.
We
in
can
Montreal.
afford it.
Awesome. Gotta buy it now.
Wait.
Presumably,
The
that's
the
from the
pirates are
art.
in
It looks like
Montreal?
Montreal.
I didn't know
Stop
Montreal
being an
had
asshole. Fuck.
pirates.
See, the thing is, just to cut into here, because yeah.
Already doing it.
Because I saw it on Reddit, there was like a post. I think it was like God of War Ascension, and if you pre-ordered or something like that, you get that guy from Leonidas from 300,
Oh, yeah.
and then like
Are you serious?
right below it was like Assassin's Creed 4 and Jack Sparrow.
Ah,
If they brought that together,
That'd
I
be
would
pretty
buy it.
sick.
That'd be stupid. I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
I would buy it.
Anyways, they said it wouldn't be too invasive. I think they said you would be able to come out of the Animus maybe 5 times the total throughout the entire game.
why is
Can
it
I-
in the game then?
Can I
Well,
ride
because
the
it's-
metro?
it's story.
What can I do in Montreal?
Probably nothing except for look out the window.
Can I
At the
ride
very,
metro?
very end, you die in a sinkhole.
They just took a picture. They took a picture of it and just like panned it across.
No, it's like Deus Ex. You're like, we're in Montreal now. Like, what? Have you never heard the word? Have you never spoken English before?
Can I go get
They
an extra
actually
and
say
smoke meat?
Yeah, there's like Montreal in the game,
Yeah.
Is it
but it's
made
like
in
it's very
Montreal?
awkwardly.
No, you know the big tower?
It is
Yeah.
made in Montreal. Yeah.
Part of it.
But like, why
Well,
would
it's
they do
developed. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
not the bosses. The bosses aren't developed here in Montreal.
Yeah. Anyway, so they released specs for the Steam machines, or at least the specs that they would be releasing for the beta, like the people that
Testers.
actually
The
300 beta testers.
Which they stuck to, by the way.
Sorry?
Again, they can count to 3.
Yeah.
300.
300. Anyways, so
Why?
Because they
The-
couldn't count to 3 before. Team Fortress
Valve.
2. Valve.
Everything
They-
comes up to 2s, and they don't make triplets.
And
of
then they
anything.
finally came out with 3 reveals in that week,
Oh, I
and
see.
there's 300 people allowed to sign up to it.
Oh,
They're really
people,
pushing the threes.
They're gonna
People,
skip halfway
people
through.
that are extremely crazy Valve fans go insane for that shit. So they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, they're really
They're suddenly
trolling.
revealing to us that they're going to come out with Half-Life 3.
They're really trolling everybody hard. It's like
Yeah.
3 reveals, halfway 3 revealed.
Never going to happen. Anyways,
people are crying
Half-Life
and
4,
screaming.
man.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Half-Life 4.
they even trolled them
calling it-
harder. They're like, okay, we just, what was it, copyrighted Half-Life
yeah, that
3.
was fake apparently.
Oh, yeah?
That was fake, yeah. Anyways, so back to the Steam machines. They're actually going to be comparable to size to like the PS4, the Xbox One. And then a couple of sites did pricing for the parts that they released. So the high-end ones, which has the Titan and an i7 processor,
I know what both those are.
$18.50.
The thing is,
What the
i7s are
Yeah.
i7s are not worth it. The value you get from an i5, like,
Okay.
you shouldn't even get an i7.
It doesn't matter. The i7s are stronger with the
I know,
strongest
but
video
still,
card.
it's like,
Stop arguing my point. I'm just saying how much it costs. The strongest video card on there with an i7 is $18.50. Okay?
Yeah.
Quite
He's
a bit.
technically not
The
arguing
mid-range-
against you. He's just adding
No, I know.
advice.
It's not
it's
worth it.
advice.
So then get the
i5s.
mid-range one, okay? The mid-range one comes with a GTX 780 with an i5, and it's $13.50, so it's $500 less.
Wow.
And then the next one, the low high-end one, comes with the GTX 660 with an i3 for $800.
I still don't understand what's with the hype for this machine.
There isn't. I still don't understand who it's marketed for. I actually think that instead of getting any of these boxes, you should just buy 40 or 50,000 goldfish. It's better value.
Or just buy the cracker snack goldfish. Just buy like a
You
case.
would get more value out of those.
Yeah, because at least you could eat those.
Yeah, but no one owns. Oh yeah, yeah, we can go into the wild. No, I'm not making sense anymore.
No,
But like anyway, you could just build a better computer for cheaper.
$18.50 is quite a bit. The CPUs that they threw in were just like high-end CPUs that would work well with whatever else they're putting in, because Steam or Valve didn't actually give any specs on the CPU. They just gave specs on a couple of other things.
Do you know if they're Haswell or like Ivy Bridge, Sandy Bridge?
Probably the latest ones. I'm not
Haswell.
sure.
Because like I was looking up, I was actually trying to build a computer just recently,
Mhm.
and I mean, I was trying to build something very similar to that, with like a high-end i7 and all, with like whatever, but like it costed me like $1,200.
Yeah, not 18.
I mean, it's not.
But were you getting a Titan in there? Because those
I
things
was
are
getting
$1,000.
Okay, well, I wasn't getting a Titan, but I was getting,
Well then.
I was getting a 7970,
Well then.
7970.
which is like pretty much the highest you can get right now.
Okay.
Well, I was listening to some people talk about that, the Steam machine, and one guy brought up a good point. It's like, say you live in a small apartment, right? Whatever. It's like a 2 by whatever. A 2
So
and a
a
half.
box.
No, it's like a 2.5.
Okay, yeah.
So you're a cat.
And you don't have room for a tower and the monitor. You have enough space for like a TV or something. This is what it would be good for. People who can't fit the tower into their
Yeah, I
apartments.
suppose. But I mean, if you
Or-
can't fit that, like,
Well, because it's a
Tower?
small box. No, because say literally a 2.5. If you've seen it, it's literally the
yeah,
size
but, I
of
mean,
this
my,
room.
my PC box, I mean, like, my tower is, like, maybe twice the size as a
But
Steam
still,
box
say you
will
don't
be.
want to get that like the whole compartment there just to have the space, because this is what
You
you're
can't-
gonna be.
Still sounds
This is
way
what
too
you're going to
niche.
be living in.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
So, I
it's
mean,
a-
it's good for, like, Japanese and, like, you know,
Or-
that Asian territory with, like, people are crammed into,
Yeah.
like, small housing.
Or it's a portable PC that they were saying if they could hook up Steam machines together,
It's quite possible, yes.
that would also.
Yeah,
be-
see, that's the thing. It's a computer you can actually bring around with you easily. Because you can bring a PS3 with you easily. You used to bring Super Nintendos to your cousin's house
I
or
don't know. That
whatever.
PS3 was hard to carry around sometimes. Pretty fucking big.
The original one, yeah. The original one, yeah. But the PS4 is going to be in between the old PS3 and the new ones, and the Steam box is supposed to be about the same size as that. So, anyways, they said the stuff will be pricey, but to remember that these are all high-end ones, and that there will be options for cheaper ones also. These are just the beta test ones.
Would you buy the higher end ones if they came with Team Fortress 3, Portal 3, and Half-Life 3?
Probably not. I never really
Oh,
played any of
you're
those
not a
games
fan?
anyways.
The
But
only way that
That would
they're
be a
gonna
good
make
way.
money.
Yeah, if they
That would sell a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna doubt that. Like,
like
if-
they came free on it. That's
it would
price.
sell a lot.
Yeah.
The only way they would make money is for that reason. That only reason.
Or just even Half-Life 3 on it. I'm sure it's still.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. If Half-Life 3 were released, people would just buy it on Steam anyways. They wouldn't buy a new box. Unless that was the only way to get it, which
But like a
I
time
don't...
exclusive.
No, no, but-
It
exactly.
would come up
That's
first
it's
on the
time
Steam
exclusive,
machines.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, they'd have like a DRM and it'll be only for Steam machines. And then someone will crack it within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
Because it's a
everyone has it
computer.
on PC.
Unless they put a specific code on it that has to be with the Steam machine.
How would you be able to do that?
I don't know.
Code
This
it
is getting
somehow.
really specific, but
It's
You'd
just
have
like
to
a
code
text-
it.
It's just a text file.
Yeah,
It's
it's a text file.
machine.
There's one text file in there.
so the last thing I got for this little discussion is
The Last of Us.
the Tekken producer, okay,
Oh.
the guy that works on Tekken. He is convinced that you won't see a traditional like PlayStation 5 or next gen Xbox the way you see it now. Like, let's say come 2020 or whatever, when new systems are getting ready to roll out or whatever within the next couple of years. He thinks it'll be more of a contest of services instead of like hardware boxes and stuff like that. Like with the way the cloud services are progressing, and so he thinks it'll be more like a controller and a monitor. Okay. So
Really?
he thinks like so yeah, but with the names still intact. So you'll have the PlayStation Network, you'll have Xbox Live and Steam and stuff like that. He'll think it'll be closer to like a PS Vita TV kind of service
okay,
instead
yeah.
of an actual PlayStation console or an Xbox console. And he would be surprised if he saw physical media at all. But he'd be happy to see it, which I would be too, because I like buying games at stores. But like he would be surprised.
Right.
So like, what do you think about that? And
The one hurdle right now is internet connection and like bandwidth limits.
yeah, but in another 5-6 years,
Yeah,
I don't think it's
bandwidth
gonna happen.
limits. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
well, I have unlimited bandwidth and my internet's pretty good now.
But that's the thing, like not everyone has that.
No, not everyone has that.
Like
Of course.
really, we're like a very small percentage of people who have unlimited.
Mhm.
So you'd have to have governments intervene basically and tell internet companies you have to, either increase your bandwidth up like until insane amounts or,
You know, that's true because I just remembered that Killzone is 50 gigs if you
Yeah.
download it on your PS4.
That's a hell of a...
That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
That's like some people's bandwidth limit
That-
for the entire
I
month.
have 60 gigs for the month.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd have
Yeah.
to buy Killzone in the store. You couldn't,
Yeah, I would.
you couldn't
But-
download it.
No, I couldn't.
A big thing I know a lot of people have problems with digital downloads is because say like with this company with Steam, right? All my games technically still belong to Steam because it's on their networks. If Steam goes bankrupt, all of a sudden it just disappears.
Closes, yeah.
All their servers are gone and all your games are gone.
Not unless they work in offline mode.
Unless they...
If they work in
Unless-
offline
yeah.
mode, then you're fine.
But then you just won't be able to play multiplayer anymore.
No.
Exactly. But like that's why a lot of people want the solid copy game in
Yeah.
their hand.
Yeah,
So-
but it's like those are crazy people who are worried that like.
Yeah, but that's
aliens
why-
No,
are
but it
coming
still can happen. I mean, look at what's it called.
That's
Any
why
sort of company.
Xbox One changed their policy or whatever because people wanted to be able to play their fucking games. If their servers went down, you wouldn't be able to play because you'd have to be online all the time. And if you didn't have internet connection or those soldiers and subs wouldn't be able to play their Xbox because they didn't have internet.
The soldiers and subs.
Yeah, that was one. That was an argument. Like like he was in the army, or he was in the navy, or whatever, and he spends 6 months of the year in a submarine, but he usually plays Xbox. Now he wouldn't be able to because he'd have to have an internet connection.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
6 months of your year in a submarine.
Well,
Well, maybe
No,
not
they-
6 months. You know, a couple months.
but he's probably 6 months away from home.
a submarine sandwich or
My
Yes.
God, Brandon.
As long as there's meatballs in
Is it a foot
Meatballs.
Is it a
Lots of
footlong?
meatballs.
That's 3 foot long.
It could be bigger.
Anyways, back to the subject.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's I know a lot of, like a main concern for a lot of people. If the system just crashes.
Yeah, it's like my brother. He paid for his entire internet for the entire year because it was Akanak or whatever.
Yeah.
So he paid for his entire service for the year. He paid in one lump sum. But if their company goes bankrupt and they lose all their towers or lose all their connectivity,
Yeah.
he doesn't have internet, which he paid for already.
the company ceased to exist.
No, he's saying if the company ceased to exist,
So why
Then-
did he pay up front? How much did he save?
quite a bit. I don't know. He
Give
spent.
me a
They usually give you
percentage.
bundles.
He
Yeah,
has unlimited.
$8 for
He has
the year.
unlimited internet. He has unlimited internet with like as fast as mine, which is pretty
Super
fast
high
now.
speed.
What's
And
he
it was only like $600
for the year?
for the year.
Unless the company goes bankrupt.
Yeah.
It sounds like a pyramid scheme. It's gonna exist.
Oh.
They push for
So
a
it's
month.
like $50
and then it
a
stops
month.
existing.
So it's not that bad.
How much do you pay a month?
50 something.
It's
He
pretty
saves like
good.
$5 a month.
Not bad.
So people doing math in their heads right now.
Yeah, it's like $50, $60 a year.
Or meth in our heads.
He saves a month a year.
Yeah,
A
that's
month,
pretty
That's
good.
not bad.
That's okay. I still pay a month.
Until they fuck them over and decide not to. I make all the money on it. Make the bank.
Yeah, exactly. If
Yeah,
you're
but that's
only saving me a
with
month-
the internet. I switched the Bell, and the way I got my unlimited internet for $10, I have to have 3 services.
The phone.
He only needs that one internet that he paid
Yeah.
for, and if you don't have 3 services, unlimited is $30 instead of 10.
Yeah. So it ends up costing almost $90 for like the base internet with Bell. If you have
Yeah.
only one service.
So
He saves quite a
he
bit.
saves quite a bit.
Yeah.
But if the company goes under, then yes, you're fucked.
And you can't really sue them because they're technically bankrupt. You can't sue a bankrupted company.
They're already. You can't kick them when they're down.
No, the government won't allow that.
No. But it's an interesting perspective. I'm not inclined to believe it. Not at this point in time. I like to see my consoles come out. I like physical hardware. I would hate to see that actually become reality.
You know what I think? It will become something like a hybrid of that. It'll be like you'll buy the game, but it would be like I don't know how it'd work. It would rely too much on streaming, and the disc itself would just like unlock a code.
Well, I think it would be just a generic box, like a DVD player or a Blu-ray, player.
Yeah.
I know, but that's what they're saying. It's like a
That's what I'm saying. It's just a generic Blu-ray player that anyone has. You put it in, and then you
but
just
with
load.
the PlayStation Network service on
you
the Blu-ray.
load-
Yeah, I
PSN.
see that too.
Like it would be heavy on streaming, that's for sure.
Yeah, but see, the streaming is still taking up your bandwidth, right? That's what they want to do with the Gaikai service on the PS4.
Yeah.
They want to stream PS3 games to it.
But like, is the latency really an issue? Isn't it all?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Like On Live did that before they went bankrupt, but
Yeah.
well, I think I'm not sure if they went bankrupt. I think they sold off most of their assets and they're running on like a skeleton crew.
Too early.
I haven't heard anything
So they made
about it in a
millions,
long
and now they're
time.
just barely paying anybody.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on with On Live. I'd have to look it up. But apparently there was absolutely no like issue with the streaming, which is what some people might have thought was going to be wrong.
How many people bought on Live?
No clue. So what have you guys been playing this week? Sean, you were playing
What am I playing?
Devil Summoners?
No.
That was,
The Moon?
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Moon?
yeah.
Nope, no,
Close
not
enough.
Yet, not yet. I'm playing God of War Extension.
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 Yeah, you got that
just
earlier in the
talking
week.
about
Yeah, so
Ascension.
it's not good.
Do you have
It's
do you
not
have
good?
Leonidas?
No,
Did you get Leonidas?
no, I don't think that's real.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah?
It's legitimate.
Oh yeah,
It's legit? It's legit?
Yeah.
I don't think
Anyways, it's shit.
it's okay. It actually does
You
feel
can
really,
manage
really
your shit.
rushed. Like it's very unpolished, which is surprising. There's a
Why?
lot of clipping. Characters like going through shit. It
Oh,
just feels
wow.
I
very.
hate that.
But like it doesn't like it's very noticeable how there's like a lack of polish to it overall.
Is it Santa Monica that's doing it?
Yeah, it is, which is
Wow.
very surprising.
Did they announce one for the PS4?
Who cares?
I can't remember if they
point.
actually made an announcement for
Well,
another
3
God of War game.
Yeah, 3 was good.
It was a beautiful game. It
Yeah.
was just well.
This is still a beautiful game, and it's really gross. One of the executions is like you're stabbing an elephant in the gut, and then when it falls over, you stab it in its head, and then cut open its head and pull out its brain.
So you
You
mean
start
graphic?
eating it?
You mean
No.
graphic, not gross.
Yeah, graphic and gross is the same shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, so does he start eating the brain?
No,
Like,
no, the
He
elephant.
smears it on his
You can
stomach.
see it die. You can see its eyes lose its
Glaze
life,
over?
and it's just-
He
yeah.
starts cooking the brain. And eats
so
it.
it's disturbing.
It's disturbing, and it just I don't know. I'm not even that.
Did you get to that torture scene in GTA 5?
No.
Oh god.
Enjoy that. That
No.
shit is
I feel
graphic.
so bad.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's
Wow.
it's intense.
I don't want to do this.
It
but
is
I
like
have to.
get to that point and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's like intense to actually like you almost don't want to go through with the scene because it's fucked.
Well, that's it.
Okay.
That's what somebody I heard they did. They because it was on a YouTube I was following. They said they reached that scene and they felt so bad about it. They tried to choose the least painful torture method, and they just did that over and over.
No, I did all of them.
No, yeah,
just to
'cause
see
you're
what
an
it was.
asshole.
But
Because like I was using the
it was
pliers.
so graphic, man.
I was
Yeah.
using the pliers or whatever it was, and like
You're
I'm
ripping
thinking
out
of-
his teeth or whatever.
I'm thinking about my wisdom
It
teeth.
gets pretty
I
bad.
haven't seen the scene yet.
Don't worry, there's like 4 or 5 other things you
You'll
can
have
do to
fun
the
with
guy.
it.
But
Why?
I'm thinking about my wisdom teeth removal.
Ah.
like, yeah.
Oh god.
That
Anyways,
really
get to the
probably
scene.
is.
It's not that far from where you
No,
are.
no, I'm gonna
it's
get
like
back
right
to it.
after.
I don't know why I started God of War. I shouldn't have.
Should have finished GTA
Yeah, I
5.
should have. Now it's another game that I have to finish,
But you're playing your Shin Megami Tensei also.
Yeah. which I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Which is an RPG for people who are unfamiliar with.
What does that stand for?
Shin Megami
Shin Megami,
Tensei?
it's like the revival of the
No,
goddess.
RPG. What is that?
Oh, it's a.
It's a rocket propelled grenade.
There we go.
There we go. Thank you. Launcher.
It's perfect.
And so it's a rocket propelled
Grenade.
grenade-based game.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt? Pick up anything new?
Well,
Did you play any of
Agar's Generations of
Yeah.
War? Yes, I have.
and?
Well, like I explained to Sean way back, not too long ago.
Several minutes.
I bought it
ago.
I bought it on Steam, so it came with the bundles of all sorts of DLC.
Came with a bunch of DLC, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what half the DLC was. I wasn't interested in that, to be honest. I just wanted the game at a cheaper price, which was like $15.99 instead of $19.99.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I loaded the game. It loaded all this DLC. It was giving me all the list of stuff. Now, to be honest, I shouldn't have got the DLC. Like, if I could have turned it off, I would have. I think I could have, but I decided not to. I don't know why. I just kept going. But it showed me like I got all these items, I got all these things, I got a bunch of money. So I go into the game. I did the tutorial mission, whatever. I just beat the tutorial mission. I was able to go into my menu of my 3 guys that I had and organize them, whatever. Their base stats are pretty normal for like my main guy was level 2. His attack was 175, whatever, and there's nothing higher than that. His stat was the highest. I go into his equipment settings. I started equipping all of the stuff they gave me. His attack was 1,000. 1,000.
Multiplied by 10.
Yes, and he's at level 2 in the game. His defense was like 500 something. His magic defense was like 600.
Yeah.
And he was just
So you just finished levels with him. And
essentially, yeah, he would never have died, and he would have just one-shotted absolutely everyone in the level.
you
Turned
removed.
assumptions.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
no,
removed
yeah,
all the
I removed all the gear.
Why would
actually-
anyone play a video game like
No,
that?
but not only that, but I feel bad now that I got all that DLC.
Why?
Because like I don't know how much money I have. Like I have like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
About how much you're supposed to have.
I have no idea, but I just know I have so much that it doesn't matter anymore. I can buy what I want, and I don't need to sell anything in my inventory.
Oh my god.
And I have enough gear to gear up like 7 or 8 people
So why don't
to
you
that level.
restart a new game?
No, but I'll still have it.
What, they can not give you the money?
No, the DLC is
Then
automatically.
delete the game from your
Yeah, I'd have to delete
and
it.
then re-download it, but without the
Yeah,
DLC.
that's what I would have to do, but I said forget it.
You said forget
Talk
it.
about
Sounds like
first
God of
world
War
problems.
Ascension.
I know, right?
Yeah, seriously.
First
Oh,
world
the
problems.
game. It just
Yo, man,
They're
I
giving
have,
me too much. They're
I have
just
too
giving.
much money, guys. I have too much money. I'm not happy.
It just doesn't feel right anymore.
it's like Jesse. He's just like throwing money everywhere.
Yeah.
I
But it just
saw
doesn't
that.
feel right. Okay, walk into the first town, everything is like less than $50 or whatever it is, and I have like 100,000.
Because
Not only
it's
that, is
stripper
that-
money. Just-
Not only that is that
That's
there's
strippers.
achievements in
It's
the
like
game.
you're just at the strip club with
Yeah.
like Trevor. and
It's
just,
coins though. It's like
make
bags
it
of
rain.
coins. I just took a bag of coin at the girl and.
Make it rain.
That's
So, Brian, you got to the torture scene, which means you played more GTA 5.
I played about 40% of it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say anything. I've only played
I'm
about 27.
Done my 3rd heist on my way to the 4th.
Yeah. You got money finally, or?
It's coming apparently. Apparently Lester has to like launder it some more.
Yeah.
So yeah, because the second one,
Doesn't give you shit.
I don't know how far you've been through
He
it.
hasn't
I did
finished
one
it.
Lester mission.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
Well, you
No,
have
it's
to do
a
the
second
he has to
heist.
do the submission.
What's that mission?
You're in the submission, no?
Oh, the sub heist.
Yes.
The one where you, the
Yeah,
submarine
yeah.
hitting contest.
Yeah. yeah. I think it's been about a week since I played it. I want to go back to it. I honestly do not know why I started God of War Ascension. I think
No.
it's just because a friend lent it to me.
I started doing some work this week, so I haven't played it at all.
Oh, you're working?
Not really. I'm doing some stuff for my uncle,
Oh.
but making gifts.
And sometimes he's
Nice.
allowed to keep his underwear on. when he's-
Uncle makes you make gifts.
Animated gifts, yes,
Why?
for advertisements.
Okay.
It's fairly simple. Anyways,
Which is a
wait,
euphemism
can we
for
rage on
urinating
Final
in cups
Fantasy
and
for a
throwing
bit?
it at
What?
people.
I said, can we rage on Final Fantasy for a bit?
why I just
Which Final Fantasy? Oh, the online one.
Yeah, so I finally got my white mage there.
Oh, you
As
finally
long as
got
it
the
isn't
white
Final
mage?
Fantasy Tactics.
No,
because
it
talk
is
shit
Final
about it.
Fantasy Online, the Final Fantasy 14.
Mhm.
Yeah, so finally hit
Finally
the
hit level 30.
Yes, on one character and 15 on the other.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I had left a bunch of quests on my 30 guy as I was going. I was just doing story missions specifically, nothing else.
Yeah.
To leave quests behind for the other guy because I knew I'd have to level him up too.
Yeah.
Cannot find a single one of those quests. I don't think they exist anymore.
They do exist.
I don't know. I
Because
can't
you
find
won't see them unless you're a high enough level.
them. They show up anyways. They show up as red. They
No,
show
not all the time. Not all the time.
No, I even switched back to see if they were there. They're
Oh.
not there. I cannot find them.
Hmm.
I literally cannot find these quests anymore. So I have to
Mhm.
grind from level 15 to 30 on
Nah,
another
you'll be able to
character.
find them again. What you have to do is, once you get to level 20, do the hunting logs again, and you'll find the quests in those zones, because the hunting logs will bring you to the
I
quests.
know. Even then, like those quests, I was doing some. I did one quest. It done. Oh, okay, that's it. There's no more chain. That was it. That was the big
There's
chain of the
one
quest. There was
quest.
one quest.
Sometimes it happens.
Gave me 2,000 experience. I'm like, you motherfucker. Now I have to grind for God knows how many levels.
How's the aesthetic in the game? How does it look?
It's very
It's
nice.
nice.
No, the
very
graphics
pretty.
are nice, but how do the actual settings look? Are they imaginative?
Jumbled up.
No,
Okay.
it's very. It's very. It brings me into the world. Like, it's all very
Oh.
authentic
It looks
to
like a Final
itself.
Fantasy world. That's what it is.
It's not jumbled. It's exactly. It's like an actual.
Well,
it's a Final Fantasy.
It
It's just
can
an
get
MMO.
jumbled. It can get jumbled.
Have you guys
Not
played
what I-
Final Fantasy 12 though? Does it have that kind of aesthetic?
Yes.
To
Yes, except more things are on the screen.
it? Right, which makes sense.
Yeah, it looks like Final Fantasy 12. A lot like it. Like, a lot of the systems in it like, even the way the enemies come and attack you, like the lions and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah?
that. Yeah, it has
And
all
they're
that.
linked together in a party.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
It's
No,
all
but
very Final Fantasy 12.
What I mean by jumbled is that like
even some of the armor
Nice.
looks like Final Fantasy, like
I'll-
the judges.
Oh
the
yeah.
judge. Oh yeah. Yeah, anyway, so I'd be on a quest, right? Like the levies,
Hmm.
and it's very specific to you. Like the mobs in that won't show to the other players until you
Yeah.
start attacking them. But the problem is that sometimes they're in areas surrounded by regular mobs,
Yeah, and then you
then
have to
they
start
can
fighting a
they
bunch
can
of
still
shit.
aggro on you. Not only that, but sometimes by chance, like it happened to me yesterday, a fate appeared right on top of me as I was doing it.
If
So
you're gonna
about
rage about that, that's not that
no,
bad.
no, no.
That happens in other
30
games.
things just came, they just appeared and they all aggroed on me. And I was dealing with the mobs around me, and I was dealing with the mob that I was fighting that was 5 levels higher than me.
Yeah, but you're a white mage. You could just
No,
heal
I wasn't.
yourself.
I was my level 15,
Okay.
What's your level 15?
the Arcanist.
He still has a fucking heal.
Because all you play is magic.
Yeah,
I
you
have
wanted
to.
all 3 magic ones.
How much gathering do you guys do in that game?
Nothing. I'm not
haven't done
doing
anything.
goddamn gathering because it could take too fucking long. And
It's like it's like an entirely different class.
That was. I feel so bad
there's
for
3
both of you.
gatherings in total.
Did you guys get that? Did you get that at least? I guess I asked if you guys only do magic in it, and then I asked if you guys gathered. It's Magic the Gathering. But I feel like I'm an asshole now because I genuinely asked you a question.
Yes, you did, because it actually is called gathering.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like an asshole now because we're just genuinely. Okay, so
Alright,
Yeah,
Sean.
you
No, forget
you don't
it.
do any
Forget it,
gathering.
Sean.
Do you do any
Yeah.
hunting?
Wait, edit that. I need to practice my laughing.
Yeah, no, there's only 3.
Every time we laugh, it just.
So yeah, there's only 3 types of gathering. One's botanist.
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 Yeah, but you cut
gathering.
wood.
Is Harry Potter or something?
Yeah,
Yes,
but
yes.
you're cutting
You're a
wood.
botanist.
That isn't a botanist. That botanists groom plants.
But
You're like,
look,
yeah.
No, but wasn't there like a botanist teacher and whatever?
yeah.
No, but listen. There's 3
There was.
gathering ones. There's botanist, there's miner, and there's a fisher. Yet these 3 fill for all the other jobs.
Which is like 7.
Yeah, there's a tailor. I'm like, how the hell do you get tailor shit
You just add
from
tails
either of
to
these
people.
3? It's from the botanist. As you cut tree, apparently you get like wool and shit. You get like yarn.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Sheeps grind up against the tree.
No, they're,
And-
they're trees that eat people.
It's really random. Like the things you get are from those 3 jobs, and there's no other way to get them.
Yeah,
It's retarded.
it's okay. It works. It's
No,
a fun
it doesn't.
game.
It takes
That actually kind of
forever.
reminds me of this strange mechanic that they've added to Shin Megami Tensei 4, which is a lot like an MMO, where these scraps of very ugly looking, it looks almost like vomit, like gold vomit on the
Yeah,
floor. Like
I would
a pool
want
of it.
some.
But it sort of, out of it comes these like weird gears and stuff. It looks like it's a pile of junk. I think that's literally what it's supposed to be. Whenever you go up to it, you push A and you gather. And you end up gathering. Half this stuff kind of makes sense. Whatever, you get pieces of equipment that you can sell or scavenge. But some of it is like this weird arbitrary currency, like 3-star Omega. I've never heard of this before, but apparently like it scales. So now I'm at like 7 or 8-star Omega. It's just like this very arbitrary economic currency that they never explain or elaborate on. And I was thinking about that and how MMOs have bled into other genres. And
Yeah, it's good.
7
the realm of ideas is always present.
Toads.
Totes.
Totes my goats.
Totes
All
my
right,
goats.
what's the question of the week this week?
What is it?
So I saw this article on like
This isn't a question, Adam.
That sounds like a statement.
Yeah.
I saw this article about how the
I have an
relationships
inquiry.
in Saints Row 4
Yeah.
are very well portrayed and written and stuff like that. So
You mean
it was
like Mass
getting me
Effect?
thinking about anyways,
The
it was getting me
characters?
thinking about relationships between characters in other games and which ones do you feel it was either a romantic relationship or a relationship between friends or maybe even relationships between enemies, like how
Ooh, that's a nice question.
games that have good relationships either written well or the characters how they interact with each other, which games do you feel did this well and which games do you feel that didn't do this well and which characters were there in the game, because not necessarily it could be like there's 8 characters in the game but you felt 2 of them were very strongly portrayed but maybe not the other ones, so
Right.
you know.
It's all gonna be Mass Effect,
No.
Effect.
Well, not only Mass Effect, but
Mass
Batman,
Effect.
Arkham City, and Arkham Asylum.
Really, you felt that the relationship
yes.
Between
which
who?
characters?
Well, in Arkham City was Batman and Joker for sure.
Joker.
That whole rivalry that was going on.
Joker.
Not to mention.
Yeah, but how often do you even
Yeah.
see Joker in the entire thing? Isn't there other enemies too and stuff
He's in
like
it,
that?
but just the whole story revolves around you chasing him around the city most of the time.
yeah,
And
but
then
how much of a relationship can that even
it's
create?
Batman and Joker, just the
All
whole
right,
idea
I'm
of it,
gonna pull out
with the ending of it.
the Last of Us card because I can't think of anything else. Joel and Ellie obviously have a really good dynamic, I felt. But in terms of bad dynamics, Also by
but
Naughty Dog.
technically, on The Last of Us, he wasn't in a relationship with Ellie per se.
no,
No,
it
but
doesn't
I'm
have
not-
to
it
be.
doesn't have
It
to be
doesn't have to be. No,
it was
type
his
of romantic
daughter
relationship.
That wasn't actually.
yeah, well, that's why it's a
Semantic-wise,
nuance.
yes.
It's a nuanced relationship that ends up turning from a responsibility to a genuine platonic relationship
Hmm.
between strangers who weren't related to each other.
So it was an evolution.
An evolution. But in terms of poorly constructed character dynamics, I always felt that Drake and Sully had a poor dynamic with each other.
Really?
thought it
I
was
like
pretty
their
good. I thought it was
banter.
fake.
It felt forced. It's always, every time they were together, Drake would be like, you remember that time in Canada when you were with that girl? And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, no, that just sounds, that's like the friend who like makes up stories on the spot. Hey, Adam, remember that time last week when I was bungee jumping and I was able to create life? He's like, well, then that's just stupid. That's just you stringing together words. It doesn't actually have any meaning.
I thought it was a lot more than that. It wasn't just that like he was his mentor.
Yeah,
as
that's
a
the thing.
kid.
It was
Yeah.
supposed to be that, and it felt forced. It felt almost like it's okay. We know that he was a mentor. You do not. He's a two-dimensional character. He has no depth. You do not need to add.
Well, that's why they added it, because he's not in the game. Sully's not in the game all the time. The girls are in the game more than he is.
Yes,
So they're just trying to show, okay, there is this bond between these two that are closer.
right. But there's one thing to say that there's a bond, and there's another thing to show, and they never show.
Well, that's what
that
it
there's
is.
a
That's
bond.
what the banter would be if they were together in a room
I
together.
think Uncharted, for lack of any better word, is more of a macro kind of game, whereas The Last of Us is a micro style game,
Mhm.
wherein the relationships are, better expressed.
Yeah.
And Naughty Dog, I feel like they're learning, just from, Uncharted, and that's not to say that Uncharted is a bad game.
No.
But it is more, again, macro
Mhm.
than micro.
Yeah.
So I think it's two polarized kind of games that just worked out really well.
Like economics. You talk about
Exactly.
economics, but then you have to actually elaborate
Yeah.
as to whether or not you're talking about macro level or micro level economics.
Exactly. Like aggregate demand or
Yeah.
Okay, stop.
Another-
Anyways,
Another good one was
IPOs are good too.
Master Chief and Cortana.
Are good or bad?
That was a good one. That
Okay.
was the bond they had,
See,
especially in the later games.
I thought Adam was gonna go in a different direction with the question. I thought he was gonna specifically say what two characters in whatever game. I guess that is the question though.
Yeah, it is
Because
the
you guys are kind of one upping it though. With
Wow.
Give
giving
me more
like
over-
examples.
overselling
I'm
his
gonna give- I'm
dumb
gonna-
question.
I'm gonna
That's a good
go.
question.
Mine is gonna be Suikoden 2 with the main
yeah.
guy and his friend
Yeah.
for like the first I don't know 5 to 10 hours of the game. You guys are all buddy, and then he just fucking betrays you and
Yeah.
leaves like a motherfucker. And just the relationship between that just made you feel so fucking shitty and cheated.
It was also
yeah,
in,
when he fucking leaves you and you're like, no, my friend is it's terrible.
It also happened to Disgaea.
Did it?
Yes, that guy there. He was the leader of one of the parties.
Which one?
Was it Disgaea? It was a game that. Oh, Nomad. That's it.
Soul Nomad.
Yeah, it was that one. You even told me ahead, or it might have been you that told me ahead of time that this guy is going to betray you, because I was actually leveling him up as I was going.
No, Final Fantasy Tactics. That
Final
guy that
Fantasy
betrays
Tactics. No,
you,
that also
and you take off all of his armor so that when you're
Yeah.
fighting.
That also happened in
The
Soul
joke's
Nomad
on
as
you,
well.
buddy.
Yeah, that was really funny.
That also happened in Soul Nomad as well. It seems
Did
to be
it?
a
I can't
running
remember.
theme in these Japanese.
I
see-
beat Soul Nomad.
Final
I can't
Fantasy
remember that
Tactics,
happening.
I'm surprised you didn't bring that up because Suikoden is. I haven't played it. It's on my list of games
Oh,
to
yes,
play.
the second.
The second one. In the second Suikoden,
Wait,
is
we
the-
just pulled it for you though.
that
Reloaded.
I
You
saw
already
I
did.
saw
Saw
it like
it.
years upon years
Yeah.
ago. Sorry, what were you saying?
So you could then reload it.
Reloaded.
Anyways, you were saying?
Is the protagonist silent in that?
I don't think so.
Final Fantasy is. He talks, but you never see what he says.
In Final Fantasy Tactics?
No, the Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that
never
doesn't-
actually says anything.
Rewind, guys. In Suikoden 2, does the main character talk?
I think
Yes.
so.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
he has
good.
the box.
Because if he's a silence protagonist, it just seems like it's
No, he actually.
silence protagonist. Protagonist.
We're
A silent
No,
protagonist.
protagonist.
Silence protagonist. Anyways,
not
in Final Fantasy Tactics, it's the exact same thing, right? They're best friends who have very polarized ideologies, and they're both ambitious. They're both trying to achieve something, but they end up trying to. One achieving something means the other cannot. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Suikoden 2 has the same thing, except I think they're both attacking the same enemy, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't played it. I just saw that one scene, and
Can't
I'm
remember.
presuming based
No,
on...
he joined the other team.
Oh, I see.
He's
Don't say
like-
anything else.
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
why he
played it
betrayed him. He left to go join the other empire,
yet. Okay,
the
gotcha.
other kingdom.
Because of the beliefs and all that. He's
Yeah.
got the other guy can do it and you can.
In
Oh,
the
I see.
third one, actually, if you look at some of the books, it actually talks about what happened in the second one.
They have a manga for the third.
Do they?
game,
Oh,
yeah.
probably.
It's like 10 volumes.
Wow.
I lent you the third one, and you started playing a little bit. You didn't enjoy
Did
it?
I lend it to you after that too, and then you still didn't want to?
No, this was like the last couple of months.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, he's
I know
only
I
for
told
one.
you about
Yeah.
it. It's not. It starts off very slow, the story seems good, but the actual gameplay is horrible. It's aged very
Poorly.
poorly. I mean, that's why I'm sort of attracted to the
Better
second
than
one.
the
It looks-
fourth one.
Yeah.
Don't play the fourth one. I played it. Don't play it.
Do you think they'll ever come out with
Anyways.
another one?
No.
No?
Suikoden 5 didn't do too good.
This is such a thing.
What's that?
There is such a thing. I don't know why I
Suikoden
said
5?
Suikoden 5.
completely
Yeah,
just
there
lied
is.
there.
No, there is a Suikoden 5. It wasn't very.
It wasn't good?
No. Because
Really?
they tried to make it like 2, but it didn't turn out like that.
But
Like
it
in
looked
the,
like
It was
two.
like if you turn it to like sideways and you manipulate it, it becomes
it
5.
could no. Well, the 2 would look like a 5. Yeah.
All right, Brandon, what's your answer to the question?
I have kind of a 2-part question answer. Not
Yeah,
two-part.
Short question. What is it?
Well, my question, no, my
Is this
answer.
Jeopardy?
My answer.
wait,
Double
exactly.
Jeopardy. Anyways, your
Do I
answer.
have to
my
buzz in?
first answer is more personal. It's probably Mass Effect 2
Yes.
and myself.
Garrus.
No, I'm just kidding.
I made myself Master Chief. He was Brown.
I was gonna say yeah, Garrus and Shepard, but also
They could have a romantic relationship in the third one.
there you go.
Anyways.
But my anyways, I also found Tali was like my like second in command. Like I'd always pick her as well.
Yeah.
She was like
The
my
robot.
go-to girl. And yeah, she had that mask,
Legion,
that
man.
intrigue. You know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I developed a similar sort of bond with characters based on the utility of the character. Because
Exactly.
your class is different, but you end up falling in love with the character.
Exactly, because I was a sentinel, and my position was more or less kind of backup.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't like I had a lot of shield, but like I couldn't deal too much damage. I was always in cover. It was annoying, but with Tali, it would go by a little faster than it would with Garrus.
Yeah.
At least from my experience. From a more general perspective, I would say Oliver and Drippy
Yeah.
from Ni no Kuni.
Sick.
I loved
cool.
it. It
Yeah.
was amazing. It was hilarious.
They were.
Like I mean, Drippy. I would. Oh man.
He is the best part of that game.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Matt had played it
In
in Japanese. We had experienced it in English.
So I
and
didn't
actually thought
understand what he
the
was saying.
actual English was very well
Mhm.
handled. Drippy in particular has this Welsh accent, I
Yeah.
think.
You
It
don't
is
hear
so
it.
powerful.
Yeah, it's not something very common you hear in video games.
Yeah.
It's almost akin to I don't even remember his face. What's his name in Dragon Quest VIII? What's his name?
But yeah,
The
probably.
really short, like plump guy.
Well, I know what you're talking about. But I don't know.
Yeah. It's akin to that, but like one ups a lot better.
Yeah.
And I love the art style. I mean, like Oliver. I mean, it's a good story. It's nothing too crazy.
I went in with, I think my expectations were too high of Ni no Kuni. In
Yeah.
retrospect, I think in a couple years when I look back on it, I will have appreciated my time with it.
I think
it went on too
appreciates
long.
The art style.
I think the game itself went on too long.
Yeah.
They could have
It
ended
was
it.
about 55 hours or so.
Yeah.
No, but just
Yeah.
story-wise, they could have ended it at. Should I
Oh yeah,
spoil
for
it?
sure. Yeah, no,
No, he
you
hasn't
could.
played it.
You haven't played it? You gonna play it?
Yeah.
Do you
so
care if I
that's
say anything?
it. Yeah, don't ruin it. We
Okay,
all know
yeah.
what you're talking
Okay,
about.
Okay, yeah. But that, yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
spoiled
no,
it before.
Sean told me that when
Yeah.
you beat some person, you think the game's over, and then
It's
it's
not.
just not.
Yeah.
No, because that's what it leads up to. I knew it was gonna keep going, but it just felt like okay, they could have ended it here, and
Yeah,
it still would have been a very solid
As I
game.
was playing that portion, I know the game wasn't going to end,
Yeah,
but you feel
Because-
like again, you felt like it should have. There was closure
could've.
in the
and then it
narrative.
just dragged on for
well,
another.
no,
like,
they
20
bring the
minutes.
character up like on this insanely high pedestal, and you take him down, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait,
Well,
Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch,
Yeah.
saying,
well, they
Yeah.
probably did it like this for a reason because it's a kids game. They're not just gonna end it on a sad note.
I don't think it was a kid's game. It looked like a
Well,
kid's
not a
game.
kids game, but it's like it's
Portrayed.
Japanese anime, I should say. So
Yeah.
it's like from whatever teen to whatever.
I don't think a kid would be able to play that game.
No, it's too
Probably.
difficult.
I don't think so.
The combat system got very difficult.
No, it got tedious because the computers were stupid, but I mean it was still doable.
There was
Yeah, I heard
nuance
the
to
AI
the
was
combat
bad.
that I
If you
Yeah.
left the notes
The
in,
thing is,
you just have to follow what they say on the note, and you would win.
the thing is, like you control your difficulty.
Yeah.
You can grind all day
Yeah.
with those toku whatever they're
Ah,
called anymore.
The
Toku-tokus.
Tokuros, the higher level ones,
They're toko tokos or
and
like,
then Tokuro after that.
yeah, whatever.
There's 3 levels.
You could just
can
grind
catch
all
them.
day. Yeah, I caught all of
Items.
them.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
I saw one in my entire game.
Oh,
Because you weren't looking for them.
They look almost like a Totoro character.
Yeah.
They're like I think they hold a leaf over their head
No, that's when they level up.
usually
When they're
hold
just
a
standing there, they're just like a little white rabbit looking thing.
and they give massive amounts of
Oh, yeah.
experience.
insane amount of XP.
And if there's 2 of them, even better.
In
But-
the
no, go ahead.
it's off topic, so go ahead first. I'm gonna,
Well, I had it down to the science. I'm like, I'm just gonna grind. Me myself, like I don't play a game to make it difficult. I just want to play it for the story. See, I'm not
No,
in any way a hardcore gamer.
I had to grind to beat it.
Yeah, that's the
You
thing.
do have to grind to beat it.
But like, I might as well make it easy and grind Tokos or whatever.
Yeah.
Toko to colds. There you go.
That was it.
I was playing Persona 4 the holiday season of last year. Absolutely brilliant RPG, by the way. But it's the same thing because of the way that the game they integrated it to make it less of a hardcore experience. So you actually, if you died in a dungeon, you would restart on that floor, and so it encouraged, for whatever reason, for you to be able to constantly go back and forth between floors to find these creatures that look like hands that give an enormous amount of experience, enormous, to the point where like if you kill one, you'll gain 2 levels. And so the only actual combat you had to engage in was combat with these hands, which would level you up sufficiently to a level where you're satisfied just literally just moving past the rest of the enemies. And it made the combat more enjoyable, because the worst part of an RPG, let's be honest, is playing a combat system excessively. So you enjoy it when it's novel, but it eventually just becomes so mind-numbing. You're just doing the same fight over and over
The
again.
worst part about playing an RPG is playing about 20 hours and then forgetting to save and the system turns off. And then you
Wow,
gotta do this 20 hours.
what
that
game
was
did that
very
happen?
specific.
That is
man.
very bad. Yes.
Was that
why-
Suikoden
No,
4?
it wasn't 20 hours. It
That's
was.
why I hate Suikoden.
It was like 10 hours in a row, and then
What the fuck game? That sounds like Richard. He didn't have a save card for Final Fantasy X, so he played like 25 hours of it, and then he died against a jellyfish boss, and that's it. Like, really? That sucks, man.
Yeah. That's what
Never played again.
I
Well,
remember
it's-
when I bought a PS2, I didn't have.
Oh,
A memory card.
Okay.
Then I don't know why they didn't sell that to people. It's
It
just
should
like,
just come
More.
in there, installed.
Well, thank God that they come with hard drives now.
Anyways,
No,
Adam
I say
still
we-
never answered his own question.
We need to switch
I did
back
answer
to
my
memory
question.
cards.
Suikoden 2.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
But that was the only game? There's more.
Well, we all named one. You said The Last
Well, I
of Us.
named a
You
few.
said Halo.
I said a few.
I said Suikoden 2, and he said Mass Effect 2.
and Ni no Kuni, which
And Ni no
were...
More
The-
importantly, Nino.
Well, we should add
That's
something. Democratically voting on the best answer of the week.
Why?
Because it's cool.
Well,
Because some
Mass
people are
Effect was
lazier
awesome.
than others.
We're all gonna vote for our own.
Le moi.
No, I'm gonna.
No, I would have voted for Brandon on this week.
Well, I would have said Mass Effect, but everyone could say Mass Effect.
Everyone. Only one
Yeah,
person
because
said
it's so-
Mass
Because
Effect.
he said it first.
So what, you had to go for the most obscure
Yes,
reference?
I thought you were gonna
Absolutely.
say Mass Effect.
I know,
would've
I was
said
thinking of it.
We all wanted to say Mass
Because I
Effect.
really liked
No, I wouldn't have said
Liara.
Mass Effect.
Yeah,
Liara?
Yes,
She's
Liara.
Yeah.
the blue one?
yeah.
In the
I was
first
just-
one.
I just liked their culture. I thought that there was just so much to...
Liara was the
I liked her
first one.
voice. I liked the
Yeah.
fact that she was a biotic.
I still like Legion. Legion is his own best friend.
Oh, I
That's what
totally
he is.
forgot about
He's the
Legion.
ultimate answer to that question. Legion.
He's his own best friend.
He's his own best friend. He's his own best connection because he connects with every single robot.
Legion's
Well, then he's not his
nice,
own best friend. They are their own
No,
best friend.
He is because he is Legion.
But that's not friends. There's no difference in agreement. They're just...
What are we like 4chan now or something?
Yeah.
He is just thinking. That's what he is.
All right.
Until they split up and made the two different groups,
Yeah.
and then
Which was interesting.
yes, and then it was sad.
Interesting narrative arc.
I never played,
ruined
never
three.
finished. I actually played
They
Mass
ruined
Effect 3,
3.
but I never
They
finished.
ruined it just like
Doesn't matter.
Assassin's
They
Creed.
didn't ruin anything. It's just an ending, an ambiguous ending, and people are like,
Well, it's not that
I
it's ambiguous.
expected every single decision that I
No,
ever
no.
made in that entire game to have some
I don't
sort of an
care
impact.
that it was ambiguous. It's just that all the people's deaths, all the people that did
No,
die,
you want to would have been funny?
should have been able to have been changed.
Yeah.
All the people that, died or didn't die, the people that you kept alive just show up at the end. Like, if you killed off that race, they don't show up. But if you don't, they show up. Or, like, the two people
Well,
that you
that's
get to choose who lives and dies at
Try
the beginning of the
keeping
first
them
one,
all
at the
alive.
end of the
Well, that's
first
it.
one,
Like,
they show up. And so there you go.
like the Arachnids.
They just have a big party.
You saved the Arachnid Queen, and it just says, "Oh, she's on the ship, and they're doing stuff."
And they're all like dancing.
I'm like, okay, you know what would have helped
This weird
fight
dance,
the
like
fucking
this.
aliens in the sky, the giant ships? Have a giant army of arachnids just fucking come and devour them. But no, in that last fight, you don't see a single arachnid anywhere.
Correction, they're called the Rachni.
Whatever.
No, now I can't even remember. In my head, I was thinking of it before, and now I can't even
A
remember.
bunch of spiders.
The
They're not
on that
spiders,
note-
you ignorant fool!
Oh, they're
that
humanoids.
And on that
They
note,
have an intelligence.
On Adam's notes.
that's it for us.
On one note, which is sponsoring this podcast. Sorry.
Death Note.
They're
What?
not yet, at least.
Like, comment, subscribe, answer our question if you like.
Favorite.
Add us on Facebook.
Instagram,
Twitter.
blah, blah, blah.
No one actually
Tumblr.
cared.
See you guys.
MySpace.